Hello and welcome to the quick medical revision series. It is a quick revision series for those who are preparing for the PG exams and the UPSCs. Today's topic is pancreatic physiology, and here we will be covering the exocrine part of the pancreas. Go through the lecture and I promise you will be able to answer every question asked from the exocrine part of the pancreas in the PG entrance or UPSC. So let us have a quick review of the pancreas anatomy. So pancreas is basically an abdominal organ which lies parallel to the stomach, and it has a head, neck, body and tail. Head part of the pancreas is present in the C-shaped loop of the duodenum. Histologically, it is similar to the salivary gland. Then the pancreatic secretion consists of mainly the pancreatic enzymes and the bicarbonates. The pancreatic enzymes are secreted by the zymogen granules. Remember, the highlighted parts in my presentation are those which are generally asked in the MCQs. So pancreatic enzymes are released by zymogen granules of the acinis. These are the cells, and bicarbonate solution part of the pancreatic juice is secreted by the ducts from the acinis. This bicarbonate part of the pancreatic juice helps in neutralizing the acidic content or acidity of the stomach or gastric juice secreted in or passed from the stomach to the intestine. Then the secretions from the main pancreatic duct, that is known as duct of Wirsung, which joins with the common bile duct to form the ampulla of Vater, a dilated portion, and this ampulla of Vater is surrounded by sphincter of Oddi, and this combined part of the pancreatic duct and the common bile duct opens into the second part of the duodenum at the major duodenal papilla, and this second part of duodenum, that is 8 to 10 centimeter away from the pylorus. And there is another accessory duct, that is duct of Santorini, which opens again into the second part of the duodenum but 2 centimeter above this major duodenal papilla, that is it is 6 to 8 centimeter away from the pylorus. Now here is an anatomical diagram. You can see the head of the pancreas in the C-shaped loop of the duodenum, the head, neck, body and tail of the pancreas. These are the acinis of the pancreas, the ducts of the pancreas, the main pancreatic duct combining with the bile duct, forming an ampulla of Vater, opening in the second part of duodenum at the major duodenal papilla, and this is 8 to 10 centimeter away from the pylorus. So this is the anatomical description of the pancreas. Now the pancreatic juice is secreted by vagus stimulation. This vagus stimulation causes the release of the, or parasympathetic stimulation causes the release of acetylcholine, which acts on the zymogen granules of the pancreas and cause the release of the pancreatic juice, which is rich in enzymes, because I told you in this the zymogen granules release the juice, which consists of mainly the pancreatic enzymes. So pancreatic juice, the daily secretion is somewhere 1200 to 1500 ml, and it is mainly alkaline nature because of presence of bicarbonate. The alkaline part of the pancreatic juice and alkaline part of the bile, this both neutralize the gastric acidic content or HCl of the gastric juice, which is secreted from the stomach into the duodenum. Remember this point, the alkaline pancreatic juice and bile, this neutralize the HCl of the gastric acid in the duodenum. Now the enzymes of the pancreas. Remember, pancreas helps in digestion of carbohydrate, fat and protein. The first enzyme is for the digestion of carbohydrate, next 3 is for the fat, and the next ones are for the proteins. And most of these enzymes are secreted by the pancreas in an inactivated form. They remain in an inactivated form in the pancreas. They are released into the duodenal circuit, they are released into the duodenum. Now let us go with the enzymes of the pancreas. Pancreas helps in digestion of carbohydrate, fat as well as protein. The first enzyme is for the carbohydrate digestion, the next 3 for the fat digestion, and the next ones are for the protein digestion. Most of the enzymes of the pancreas remain in an inactivated form. They get activated in the duodenum only by the secretion of the duodenal enzyme, that is the enterokinase, and the trypsin, which has been previously formed in the duodenum. And then they get activated and helps in digestion. First enzyme is amylase. As the name suggests, or as you all know, it is for the digestion of the starch to disaccharides. Lipase, the lipids, for the digestion of fat, that is triglycerides to monoglyceride. Esterase, for the digestion of cholesterol ester to ester. Now prophospholipase A, this converts, or this is an inactivated enzyme by the pancreas. It converts into phospholipase A with the help of trypsin in the duodenum and helps in digestion of phospholipid to lysolecithin. Trypsinogen, an inactivated enzyme, converts into trypsin in the duodenum with the help of enterokinase or enteropeptidase secreted by duodenal mucosa and trypsin, which has been previously formed. So this trypsin helps in activation of self, and this digests the proteins to smaller part, that's the polypeptide. Chymotrypsinogen converts to chymotrypsin with the help of trypsin in the duodenum, also for the digestion of protein to polypeptide. Procarboxypeptidase A and B converts to carboxypeptidase A and B with the help of trypsin and enterokinase or enteropeptidase for the digestion of protein. Proelastase to elastase by trypsin helps in digestion of elastin. Ribonuclease and deoxyribonuclease digest the RNA and DNA to nucleotides. So remember, almost all the enzymes are being activated by trypsin. Phospholipase A, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, carboxypeptidase A and B, and proelastase, except the trypsinogen and carboxypeptidase, which are also activated by enteropeptidase or enterokinase. Now there is another enzyme, that is procolipase, which is required for the action of lipase, and it is also converts into an activated form by trypsin into colipase. So remember these enzymes. The questions generally asked are, which of the enzymes are secreted or not secreted by the pancreas, which enzyme helps in activation of so and so enzymes, and what is the function of a particular enzyme. So this is the table you can go through. Now the regulation of pancreatic secretion by mainly two hormones, or you can say the three hormones. They are the secretin, cholecystokinin, pancreozymin, and acetylcholine. I told you in the beginning that acetylcholine is released by the nerve endings of the parasympathetic nerves, and they act on the zymogen granules of the pancreas and cause the release of pancreas enzymes. The other two hormones, that is secretin and cholecystokinin, pancreozymin, these two hormones, the questions are mainly asked on these two hormones, as out of these, which is the function of these two hormones, or which is not the function of these hormones, what is the activator of these hormones. So such kind of questions are generally asked. So let us start with the secretin part. The product of this secretin is prosecretin. This prosecretin is released into the crypts of the mucosa of duodenum and jejunum, and the stimulus for this is the acidity or HCl content of the chyme. The chyme is formed in the stomach, it is released into the duodenum, it consists of the HCl of the gastric secretion, it comes and acts on the crypts of the mucosa of the duodenum and jejunum and cause the release of prosecretin, and this prosecretin then converts into the activated product, that is secretin. It is released into the circulation, it comes and acts on the pancreatic ducts, and you know the pancreatic ducts secretes the alkaline juice, that is the bicarbonate part of the pancreas. In the first slide I told you this. So the secretin acts on the ducts, cause the release of a pancreatic juice which is rich in alkaline part or bicarbonate part, but less in enzymes. This is to be remembered. This is a question generally asked. Secretin also stimulates the bile secretion but reduces the gastric secretion. This is also asked in the MCQs. It amplifies the effect of the cholecystokinin, pancreozymin on pancreas. Along with this, CCK-PZ is cause the contraction of pyloric sphincter, thus delays the gastric emptying. Remember these things. So it causes the release of the pancreatic juice which is rich in alkaline part. It, along with the CCK-PZ, causes the contraction of the pyloric sphincter and delays gastric emptying. It reduces gastric secretion, stimulates bile, and amplifies the action of CCK-PZ on pancreas. The second hormone is cholecystokinin, pancreozymin. This is also released in duodenum and the jejunal mucosa, and the stimulus for this is product of the carbohydrate, fat and protein, that is the carbohydrate, fat and protein part of the food is the activator for this, or is the stimulus for the cholecystokinin pancreazymin release in the duodenum and jejunum. Now this CCK-PZ has two hormones in itself, the cholecystokinin and pancreazymin. The cholecystokinin acts on the gallbladder and cause the release of bile, and pancreazymin acts on the pancreatic part. Now this acts on the acinar cells. So secretin was acting on the ducts, this is acting on the acinar cells, that is on the zymogen granule, and thus the secretion by this and hormone will be rich in pancreatic enzymes. So this cause the release of pancreatic juice rich in pancreatic enzymes. It contracts the gallbladder to release the bile. It causes the secretion of enterokinase or peptidase from the duodenum, and it relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter. These are the four functions of this CCK-PZ. The MCQ is generally asked, like the pancreatic juice will be rich in enzymes or will be rich in alkaline by CCK-PZ, or what is the another function, like contraction of gallbladder, cause the release of enterokinase and lower the esophageal and relax the lower esophageal sphincter. Now the pancreatic function test. The pancreatic enzymes are released in a circulation in a very minor amount, but in case of acute pancreatitis, when the pancreatic ducts becomes clogged up, the enzymes are released more and more into the circulation, and the most common enzyme which is released into the circulation is the pancreatic amylase. So pancreatic amylase is an indicator of acute pancreatitis. So you can go for the serum amylase, and the normal value is 50 to 120 units per liter in the blood, or the fecal fat excretion. The pancreas helps in fat digestion. In pancreatic insufficiency, there will be more release of fat in the feces, and the normal is 5 to 6 grams per day, and in case of pancreatic insufficiency it may go up to 40 grams per day. Then there is another test, Lind test, and this basically measures the trypsin activity. So a meal is given, and after that from the pancreatic juices the trypsin is to be seen, and it is less than 6 international units per liter, indicates insufficiency. So these are the three main tests for the pancreatic functions. Remember, the trypsin and phospholipase A2, these are the damager to the pancreatic cells. So if the trypsinogen gets converted into trypsin in the pancreas itself, it will damage. So pancreas has a defense mechanism from this, that is trypsin inhibitor. So trypsin inhibitor prevents the conversion of trypsinogen to trypsin in the pancreas itself and prevents the autodigestion of pancreas. But in case of pancreatitis, the ducts become clogged up, the pancreatic inhibitor effect dampens up, and so the trypsin inhibitor effect dampens up, and trypsinogen converts into trypsin in the pancreas itself and start digesting the pancreas or damaging the pancreas. So these two hormones, the trypsin and phospholipase A2, are the pancreatic damagers. So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Go through the lecture once again, and you will be able to answer all the questions asked in the PGs or UPSCs. Thank you so much. Bye bye.